Hey guys, it's Adam, the science student here, and today we'll be talking about functional groups. I've listed the important ones that we should know by now, and then somewhat we're going to know or we're going to need to learn, as long as some I'm going to add right now. But we're just going to go over them. It's something you should have already hit on in class, but we're going to talk about them. Some of these you've already seen in past videos, and some are going to be new, some are going to be like, what the heck? But my advice is to study these, get flashcards, learn them real quick, and that way you don't have to worry about them in the future. Alright, so here, alkanes, single bonds, we have the A for ane. We talked about this. Alkane, single bonds, A, single letter, single bonds. Alkene, double bonds, E's between two letters. Alkyne, for Y, which is three letters in the English alphabet, or Y is spelled out W-H-Y. Therefore, there's three letters, three bonds. Three bonds, two bonds, one bond. It's pretty simple idea. Hopefully we get those quick. If you haven't seen them, look at my past video where I talked strictly about alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes. Alcohol, we talked about it last video. It's an OH group. It's an OL, or it's seen as an OL on naming and the skeleton structure and in nomenclature. So this is what an alcohol is, an R group. R group is anything attached. So if you ever see an R, it's anything attached to an OH, it's an alcohol. Carbonyl is not a functional group, but it's a part of many functional groups, so it's C double bond O. It's very important, carbonyl. These you should always know, these you should have memorized. Now we're going to get on for some, hopefully you guys wrote these down. If not, I'm going to have it on the worksheet in the bottom. These over here are going to be new to you, and I highly recommend to memorize. But it's the ketone, and you have the carbonyl with two R groups, alkyl halide, and we're going to get on to what halogens are. But halogens are symbolized as an X. So you've got R group, which is everything attached to what we just talked about, and then X is a halogen, that's an alkyl halide. An ether group is a carbon and another carbon in between an oxygen. The oxygen is oftentimes satisfied with its lone pairs. An ester is an ether with a carbonyl and a single R group. So these you need to memorize. And then I also have an amine, an amide, amide, a carboxyl, and aldehyde. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you guys have to learn these. So we're going to start with the carboxyl. So carboxyl is a carbonyl, as you would think, because of the name. So it's a carbonyl with an alcohol and an R group attached. So that's a carboxyl. An amide is let's put it this way. So there's a nitrogen in the center, has a carbonyl and two R groups attached. These two have a similar relationship as the ether and ester, as you'll see right now. So the amine is that nitrogen with a double or a single bond attached to two R groups. An aldehyde, so I'm still using my flashcards. This is what I use to memorize. This is what helps me stay focused, realize I'm not making any mistakes, so I can teach you guys correctly. So an aldehyde is a carbonyl group. You have a C double bond into O, has a hydrogen, and has that R group, which means it can be attached to a butane. R group means you can be attached to a butane, you can be attached to a hexanol, you can be attached to anything, like anything and everything. So these are the functional groups you need to have memorized for Organic Chemistry 1. I would recommend to screenshot this, take a picture, do whatever is necessary, but make sure you know these, make flashcards for them. And they appear exactly how they are as listed. So like if you ever saw a butane, for example, 1, 2, 3, put a pentane, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it has a double bond to an O and also an OH. This is a carboxyl group on the pentane. So this is where that R is. So that R, that other R, is that pentane. So these are ways that you could add on to the naming process, and you're gonna learn more with your professor and hopefully with me in the future about how you're gonna add and influence this and put this into the naming process. It's not too hard, but these are just simple ideas that you need to, or simple things you need to memorize, and they're different functional groups that you need to memorize for the upcoming classes. And as I said from before, the ones I had listed at the beginning in red, those should be already memorized by now, and you should have those down. It's the alkane, the alkene, the alkyne, single bond, double bond, triple bond, alcohol group, which is the OL in the name, and it's an OH group attached, and carbonyl, which is not a functional group, but it's the attachment of all the functional groups. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how many functional groups. So this is a carbonyl. This is a carbonyl. Anything with the C double bond O is carbonyl. This is a carbonyl. So this is a carbonyl. So it's not a functional group, but it's attached and it's a part of many of the functional groups that you will need to learn in the future. So it makes the naming process easier. So a ketone is a carbonyl with two R groups attached. There's two other groups attached. An ester is a carbonyl with an ether attached and a single R group attached. So it just becomes easier to naming, and it makes your vocabulary higher in the organic or in the chemistry world, really. So this is all. I mean, there's a short lecture today. I just wanted you guys to jot these down, hopefully get them, and start memorizing them. Like I said, use flashcards. I put the functional name or group on one side, and then on the other side I put what it is. I hit those cards. I mean, you use them whenever. Put them 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. Make a wrong and right pile, and just learn and memorize them. The main ones should be already memorized by now, but if not, get to it. Practice. So thank you guys very much. It's Adam, the Science Tutor. Here I put videos every week. Leave questions in the bottom. Please subscribe, like the video, and share with friends, anyone, family, anyone looking to learn chemistry. Thank you guys very much.